Today we are going to see experimental setup for generation of the cold plasma. First we will see the plasma followed by the cold plasma. As all of you know that the matter exists in three forms: solid, liquid and gas. If we increase the energy to the solid, solid turn to the liquid phase. If you further increase the energy, the liquid phase turn to the gaseous phase. Now if we further increase the energy, the gaseous phase converted into the supersaturated state. Okay, now here two ways are there in order to generate the plasma. The gas, if you increase the temperature and it will turn to the supersaturated gas, that we can call it as a fourth stage of matter, that is a hot plasma. Here without rising the temperature, if you would like to increase the energy, whatever the generation of the excited gas, that we can call it as a cold plasma. Now how you would like to increase the energy of the gas without rising the temperature? Okay, that's why we are using the voltage. We can increase the voltage so that the gaseous energy would be increases, so that further gas would be converted into ionized gas. Gas would be excited and it would turn wholly or partially to the ionized gas. That ionized gas consists of various elements: protons, neutrons, as well as the free radicals. These are the plasma reacted species. In cold plasma, these plasma reacted species, now what we are going to do, the gas means suppose atmospheric air you are taking, and that air we are exciting, and in order to generate the plasma, it will turn to the nascent oxygen and boson and various free radicals. Boson having the antimicrobial effect, and molecular oxygen and nascent oxygen, it would react with the water present in the material and it would convert into the hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide also having the antimicrobial properties, and the reactive species comes out of the plasma. Suppose example, free radicals are coming out of the plasma, and those free radicals would cross link with respect to the oxygen contents in the food material, and that would lead to the depolymerization of the starch chain, so that starch could be modified. That would be the one of the application in cold plasma: starch modification followed by microbial inactivation, then enzymatic inactivation, followed by improvement of the germination rate, etc. These are the applications in the cold plasma. However, it would be only useful for decontamination of the surface of the food material. It could not able to penetrate to the intact tissues present in the food material. That's the reason this cold plasma would be applicable for the surface decontamination of food materials. Either we can do the surface sterilization, or we can do the sterilization of the food packaging materials, etc. Today we are going to see experimental setup of cold plasma. First we will see the control panel. Here we will get the input voltage and input current, and from the input line we will get 250 volts and input current 5 amperes and 50 Hz frequency. And in order to generate the high voltage, we have a transformer, stepwise transformer. The specifications of this transformer is up to 60 kilowatts we would like to get the voltage, and here we would like to see the circuit of this the setup. And if you see last two things, we could say that red wire is negative and black wire is positive. and both C minus and C plus that would be connected to the control panel. That would gives the output current, and adjacent to that output voltage, and black wire is V plus and red wire is V minus, and those two wires also connected to the control panel, and that would gives the output voltage to us. And last two wires, those are primary wires, and that would be connected to the control panel. That would reads out input voltage to us, and this we can call it as a high voltage terminal, and the high voltage terminal would be connected to the electrode, the upper electrode present in the plasma reactor, and bottom we have one more electrode, and in between, okay, and upper electrode consists of the multiple pins, and the configuration is 9 into 7, total 63 pins are there in the upper electrode. And here there is no electrical barrier, dielectrical barrier is not required. Air would act as a dielectric barrier. Generally in dielectric barrier, the other material was kept in between the electrodes so that the arcing would be stopped. And our setup also consists of the continuous system. For that, the continuous belt conveyor was provided. At the one end we could fed the sample, and continually it would rotate over a belt. In this setup, we are using the open atmospheric air, and that would be drawn from the fan would be provided in order to suck the air. Otherwise, without using the fan also, we would like to use the normal atmospheric air. I will tell you the advantage of using fan. That would be one more variable. If you use the fan, and that fan would be operated at 0 to 2500 RPM, so that the air velocity would be varied, and that you could keep it as a one of the variable. First we have to turn on the main switch, followed by the main MCP. Mains on. In the control panel you could able to see the display panel. In this 235 volt is that would the input voltage, that would be comes from that would be coming from inline. And as I told you that 50 Hz frequency, and we have 5 ampere current, and other parameters, power and energy and power factor also would be displayed in this panel. We have to turn on the HV first. Prior to that we have to check the variac, and this variac or dimmer, with this we could able to control the output voltage, and whether we have to check whether it is in the 0 position or not. If it is not in 0 position, the HV would not on. Okay, now it is not in 0 position, that's why if you press the HV on also, it won't on unless until you have to keep the variac at 0 position. Now I have kept the variac in 0 position. Now you can turn on the HV. Now here we are able to see output voltage, how much we are giving. Now I am raising the voltage. respectively output current also varies. Now in between the electrodes we will want to see the generation of the plasma, that will be seen in blue color. Here the voltage we can go up to 23. This would be the distance between two electrodes, and this would be one of the variable. And in this experimental setup we can use the distance 0 to 70 mm, that means 0 to 7 mm. Okay, in between you can change the distance at any point. 1 centimeter you can keep, 2 centimeters you can keep, 4, 5, 7, up to 7 we can use. And based on changing the distance, the output voltage also varies. Mainly two variables are there. One is output voltage you can vary, as well as the distance between the electrodes. And third one, as I told you, that air velocity. Air velocity would be monitored by increasing the fan. We can do it as a batch or otherwise continuous. Now here we are using the conveyor. The dimension of the electrode is 185 to 200 mm. That would be the area we can keep the material.